Hello, hello. Welcome to Unapologetic Voices, the podcast where we fearlessly share our funniest and most outrageous stories and life events and whatever little things that we get into. But I'm Kyle Elio Torres, joined by my hilarious co-host, Thomas Tripp. We're going to get you set up and started. This is a continuation from the last episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the last one, so you're coming back and getting settled to listen to the second half.
So let me tell you part two of the Virginia adventure.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I almost lost my mom. And
like dead-wise or like
death.
She just disappeared?
No, death. Instant
For
death.
the second time.
Yeah, suffering death. Yeah. So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Abandoned
I was making jokes before the trip that my mom shouldn't go whitewater rafting, because that was the whole excursion. It was we're gonna go camping, but we're also gonna go whitewater rafting. Like, those are the two things we're excited for, right? Yeah. I kept making jokes to you and to like the group chat of my family and stuff. Like, well, nice knowing you, Mom. I hope you have a will. You know what I mean? Like, I hope you're set up.
Even if she doesn't, you get her shit.
I like it. So, unmarried single child. So, yeah, like, I kept telling her, like, you know, because my mom is very accident prone. She hurts herself on a lot of shit for no reason. We'll be taking a walk, she'll trip and break her fucking ankle. My mom is super accident prone. Okay. So we're like, you know, you probably shouldn't go whitewater rafting. Come camping, but you probably shouldn't go. She's like, no, I want to go. So we're all making jokes like, all right, well, nice knowing you. You know what I mean? Whatever. And we decide we're going to take the second hardest excursion that they have, right? Let's say it goes up to 5 levels, I think. We did number 4. Okay?
Okay.
We're having fun. We got a great instructor. We're having a great time. Okay? So the whitewater rafting is really cool. We were paired up with this family that was really cool. It was a mom, like a single mom, and her 2 kids, like 16 years of age. We got really lucky because we were watching the other groups. And you know, if you don't get a good group when you're like doing like something like that, you know, it kind of ruins the mood. We had like the perfect setup. Our guy was the oldest guy there. He's like 62 or 63. Very charming, nice guy. Like, he was like, all right, we're down to business, but I'm going to crack jokes whenever I want, and you guys have to laugh. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, he was very cool.
That.
Yeah, he was awesome. Everybody else was like a weed-smoking, like, 25-year-old. The instructors, the river, like, yeah. We'll call them the river boys, right?
Makes sense.
This guy, 63, straight to business, and he was like super cool, right? Very informative and very, you know, he was a great guy, okay? Like, he was so good, I left him a tip and a review on Facebook.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I left him a great review. Of course I did. They don't even really, like, ask for tips.
Oh, I'm sure they don't.
And you know it's a tip thing. Like, you can tell.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? You know the vibe.
Because I've done jobs where, or not jobs, but, like, I've gone to places where people have done a service for me. And I know, like, I felt like it wasn't a tip-based thing, and I still tipped them something.
Like Mexico. Like, these people are doing things for you. You kind of know it's like... Now, they ask down there, but it's you can tell it's like, I'll give you a little something. Yeah, I give them like $15. You know, just like, thanks for the day. Great day. Mm-hmm. So, and our group was awesome. That didn't ruin anything. The mom was hilarious. Like, fucking great single mom. Like, she was so excited to be on her vacation with her kids with a group of people that were, like, funny and, like, cool. You know, like, my family, we're all vibing. We're having a great time, you know? Mm-hmm. And her kids were, like, just laughing and enjoying the time. So, like, everybody was cool. We were cracking, like, adult jokes, and we were, like, having a great time down this river. Everybody was following instructions. Like, it was crazy. And I don't know if I showed you too many pictures yet, if at all. But, like, we were doing, like, insane rapids. Like, this is just right after the water was getting back to...
I'm very jealous of that.
It was awesome.
I've only done, like... hard rafting once, and it was so fucking fun.
Okay, so like this was top of the line shit. I could tell that this, whatever we were doing,
like
was
one
worth...
fuck up, you're in the water.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
So it was awesome, and there was like a couple points on the river where like, does anybody feel like they want to get out, or like, you know, like if they want to swim, or like, you know, we've got some rapids here that are kind of safe. If you're a really strong swimmer, this is a lot of fun to like dunk in there. And of course, me every time I was like, oh, I'll do it. One time it was almost pretty bad. So, like, I'll give this example before I get to the point of where my mom almost died. There was one point where it was, like, these softer rapids, but, like, they were still pretty heavy. There was giant rocks under the water that were causing these huge lifts and stuff. And the guide was like, hey, if you guys want, right here, I can control the raft. If you want to get out and just experience the rapids in your life vest, and like, I'll give you pointers on what to do. No, just let go. Just let the water take you.
Oh.
And he said, as long as you keep your feet straight down the river towards the flow, you will not get caught and you will not drown. And I was like, bet, I'll do it. You know me. Yeah. I immediately jumped in the water. He's like, all right, now before we get over there, because we're flowing, like it's time sensitive. He's like, I need to tell you, important. You will be going under the water over there. It's going to pull you under. I'm like, okay. And he's like, so just hold your breath. Keep your body as straight as you can. Yep. Elevated. And
because if you don't, you could just rotate.
Yeah, don't tumble and don't get your feet caught. Just, let it take you through and just, relax. And we'll pick you up on the other side. I'm like, okay, no problem. He didn't fucking mention something. So we're going, right? And like my family's like, woo, yeah, go. My mom's trying to take pictures on her waterproof phone, whatever, right? And so we're going towards the water. I'm getting ready, I'm just going to hold my breath and go under. It'll be fun, right?
Yeah. Fun.
So I go towards, and I feel like the river god grab me. Yeah. And
you got into the current.
Dude, this is how you know the current was, like, the river was deep. When it pulled me under, it pulled me so far to the bottom that it went ice cold.
Oh.
And this was an 85-degree hot, warm Virginia day. Like, the water was beautiful and, like, warm, right? Dude, it pulled me to the depths of hell. And, like, I got 10 feet. I could tell you it was about 10 feet under. And it all happened within, like, 3 seconds. It was very fast.
You saw the giant fish just looking at you.
Oh, I would have fucking shit my pants. And then it went, and I blew out the other side, and I literally got, like, air. I got, like, a foot of air.
Launched right
almost out of the water. And I launched right out. And, like, the guide was kind of, like, looking at me, and I gave a thumbs up. I was actually choking a little because I didn't expect it to go so fast. It was like a bullet.
Yeah.
And the change of water really shocked me. It went warm, ice, and then warm. And I, like, swallowed a bunch of water, but I was giving the thumbs up because I was like, I'm fine. I'll make it, right?
Yeah.
And then as I was coming back to the raft, he was like, all right, before you get up, nobody help him. I want to teach you how to get back in. And everybody should pay attention because we're going to come into the crazy rapids. This is like at the beginning.
In case other people fall out.
Yeah. And let me tell you, by the way, this trip, the Whitewater Raft, this would make you more excited for it, was a 3-hour ride.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
3 hours on the river. We were having a great time.
That sounds great.
It was awesome. It was like 2.5, but it was like you're not wasting your time. You're not wasting your money. This is not a quick 30-minute ride.
I got you.
It's like 2 hours of fun, 3 hours of fun. So anyways, he's like, let me teach you guys how to save yourselves in the raft in case you fall off. And they're all like, all right, great. And I was exhausted from getting through that. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like holding on there. I was like, okay. Yeah. He's like, all right, so grab the one, like, tight rope. I grabbed it. And he's like, now dunk yourself under, let the weight of the life vest
jacket shoot you
up, and then kick and pull. And I'm like, okay. And I do it, and we're like, yay, whatever, right. All right, so let's get to the exciting part. So we're going down the river. It's probably an hour in. We go over a bunch of rapids already. And this is one of those excursion things, by the way, that have, like, photographers and videographers along the river. It's part of, like, a package. There's like $60 extra to get, like, professional photos of you taking and stuff. So I'll show you some of those at some point.
That's cool. So you got some of them?
Oh yeah, I bought the whole thing for everybody, for the family too. I sent it to them. They live in Ohio. Assholes. No, I'm just kidding. But I like them a lot. Ohio. So anyways, we're going towards these crazy rapids, right? And it's getting pretty intense now. Like, we're dropping 10 to like 12 feet down the water and then back up these huge waves, right? It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. And a couple of us are kind of sort of spilling out. Nobody's fallen out yet, right? Like, purposely. Some of us have gotten the water to cool down, but, like, we're, nobody's fallen out. So we're going over these crazy rapids, and every time he gives us a little brief, he's like, hey, guys, just so you know, this part's pretty dangerous. Make sure everybody's following my commands. Make sure everybody's paddling at all times, and keep your balance, right? Mm-hmm. We're going towards these like set of rapids. There's 2 massive rocks on either side of the river that's causing a funnel like this, right?
Yep.
In the middle of the funnel, there's giant rocks breaking it apart. So it's making these huge, like, 15 feet deep, like, gashes. Yeah, thank you. And we're going, and he's like, all right, guys, this part's very serious. It's very difficult. Some of you may fall out. Remember, if you fall out, do not try to, like, do anything crazy. If you have the paddle, let go of the paddle. It's not as important as your life. Stay as flat as possible because, things happen here. He didn't get very specific. So, and we'll get into that.
I love that.
He knows how to not cause a panic.
Right.
Very
you
great
say
guy.
It calmly, you make it sound like it's not a big deal, but then you also say you will die. Then they understand.
They understand.
I have to be careful.
You need to be careful, but we're here to have fun. So, he is like purposely doing this different thing with the paddle.
Yeah, they turn the way that
he's like trying to specifically put it somewhere. Like before, he was kind of being gentle with it. I can tell because I'm at the lead. Yeah. I'm turning back between the river and him to watch for commands because I'm like the lead guy. Yeah. You know, I signed up for it, and he's like really angling us, and I'm like, I wonder why he's being so specific with it. Like he was really like, all right, everybody, forward 1, 2, and like, being very directive. And so we're lining up to this kind of like perfect spot where I can tell we're going to have some really nice, huge waves. And he's pretty excited. He's like, this is going to be a great spot. It's very difficult, but we're going to have a lot of fun. Like, I love this spot, And we're going to have some great waves and like crashing, right? And I can see like we're on the edge of those giant gashes, like 15-foot gashes, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, are we like supposed to like kind of stay in a specific spot? And as I'm thinking about that, now's the time. We're in action, right? He's like, forward, fast. You know what I mean? Like we're getting our commands. And something happens. I don't know what it is. But he goes, oh shit. He yells, oh shit. And so like I'm still in the zone. I'm like ready to paddle and like have my commands, right? But like I know like my mom and like the lady, the single mom that was with us, like turned to look at like what he was freaking out about. The raft immediately cuts in like almost vertically into that gash, and it swishes back up the other way. Yeah. Sorry, baby, I scared her. And then it swishes back the other way, and my mom fucking flies out. My uncle with her. They didn't take each other either, so like that was a lot of pressure.
Yeah, they just
like,
flew.
They with the momentum, they both flew off the boat. He's like, stabilize, get on that side, and like even out the boat or whatever. And he's like, forward, and he's like getting really serious.
That sounds really fun though.
So, just to give you a perspective, let's say the gaps of the area we were going through is about 40 to 50 yards long. Like that's how long the rapids were. So it was going to be awesome, right? At least like 45 to a minute of awesome rapids. Yeah. My mom and my uncle fell out right at the beginning. And my uncle resurfaces quickly. And he's already like getting back into the raft, right? Yeah. And the guy is yelling, and he's like, get him up. And he's like getting really like hoarse and serious. And I'm still like focusing. I'm like, I have a mission. I have to be the main guy that's
let him drown.
Yeah, basically. I mean, the rule is, don't worry about them. Worry about the raft first because they need to be saved with the raft after. You know what I mean? Yeah. They have life vests and helmets. They'll be all right. So my mom hasn't resurfaced yet. And my uncle is kind of like climbing into the boat, and like my other uncle and like one of I think the teenager kid, the guy, he like helped grab them or him and pulled him up. My mom finally resurfaces, and she's like this, like with her sunglasses on, and she's like pretty chill, like she looks like she's okay, right? Okay. But I look at the guy. Now's the time I look at the guy because he's still screaming, "Get her up!" I look at him, hoarse voice and red in the face, like he's screaming. He's like, "Get her up right now!" Like he's screaming, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like he didn't lose his cool that whole time, and we were like, he got stern with us a couple times, but he was very chill and like whatever. It was only when people weren't listening to him. Yeah, he was screaming bloody murder, and I was like, "Oh fuck, what's going on?" But I can't. I have a job to do. Also, my mom's on the other side of the boat. I'm over here. Yeah, and she's in the waters over there. It's not my job.
She'll live.
So life insurance. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I'm like doing my job and paddling. And
do you want to be a millionaire?
This guy's screaming, and it gets to the point where he kind of moves up from where he is to like reach over and grab her. Yeah. And finally, after a minute, they get her up, and I kind of see why. There's another 15 to 20 foot gash up ahead, and we were right in between the 40-yard line and the 10-yard line. So we're at like the 20 through 30. Yeah. The 20 and the 30 are where those two were. My mom fell at the beginning of the first one. And so she would have went under again during that huge one, right? Yeah. And so we got her in, and he's like, everybody paddle now! And we're like, now we're going hard, and we're going crazy, and like we're all having fun. Like everybody's having fun now. We're back to having fun, right? Yeah. And we're out. Okay, like awesome and like longest minute of the whole ride, right? And then like we're all relaxed and we're all like, we were the best boat. We could see the other rafts and they were not having as much fun as we were. Like we all put our oars in the middle and like woo, and like we're all high fiving each other, like having a great time, right? Yeah. And the guy's like. And I was like, what happened? I like, now we have a time to break, right? The water's just taking us gently. I'm like, what happened? He's like, all right, you were not supposed to go down there. I fucked up. And we were like, what? We were like, huh? And he's like, we as guides are not supposed to take that sort of spot. We're supposed to be like 2 feet to the left. 2 feet to the left, everybody would have been fine, but nobody's supposed to fall out right there. And we're like, what are you talking about? He's like, well.
He's like, I just say you guys could fall out.
He's
it's
like,
not really gonna happen.
A year ago or 2 years ago, 2 older people fell out right there and they died. They drowned right in that spot because they got caught in the rocks in the middle.
Yeah.
And he was like, we almost lost you. And I was like, oh, well, I'm glad you waited till now. But like, nobody, you know, my mom was like, oh, I was completely fine. I was really surprised with my mom. Yeah. Because my mom's a big panicker too with some things.
Like, oh, I made it.
She was like super chill. And I'm like, oh, good for you, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
That was the moment where I almost lost my mom because after we were done with the excursion, I had a great time, you know, whatever. We went back to the Adventures on the Gorge Resort and like bought our stuff and then went to dinner. I'll show you those pictures. She what was I gonna say? First of all, the guy almost got in trouble. Like the people, the younger guys who were actually like the part owners of the resort or the gorge or whatever, the ride itself, they were like going up to him like, hey man, you weren't supposed to be there or whatever. So we looked it up on our phones and we were defending him. We were like, no, it was our fault. Well, like we were taking the bullet for him and he was really cool about it. You know, he was like, thanks guys so much, you know. 63, he's gonna retire in like 2 years, he said, you know. Yeah. So anyways, long story short, we looked it up.
Take a bullet.
Exactly. I'll take a bullet for him.
Not a physical bullet.
Low-key, he saved our lives. I'll take a mental bullet or emotional. So we looked it up. Yeah, it was like 2 63-year-olds last year in that same exact spot we were on that same course of the river that we were on, drowned in that spot. They both fell out, just like my uncle and my mom, and they both got their feet caught in the rapids, and they drowned and had to get like saved. Their bodies had to get recovered later after they floated down the river.
I was gonna say
like hours later.
They didn't get saved.
No. Yeah, I didn't mean to say saved. Yeah. So that was the moment where I almost lost my mom.
Oh, okay.
And that was the river adventure, which was so much fun. And getting back to that, I have coupons and stuff, and it's only an 8-hour drive. I drove both there and back with my family. You know, I drove the whole way because it's just 8 hours. Take a break in between. You know.
Yeah.
Very quick drive where we could fly, but it'd be a lot of fun to do it. Because I can tell you, it was probably about $160 for the group. Not that bad.
For the group?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And then $60 extra for all the photos and stuff.
Okay.
So, like, it was awesome and worth it and so much fun. So, maybe next year, because of, you know, the weather right now and stuff, we could go. That would be a lot of fun. That was... So, you know, I've been to a lot of countries. I've been on a lot of vacations and stuff.
Yeah.
That was in, like, my top 5 vacations of all time. And it was just for a weekend. Like, I was there for 3 days.
I gotcha.
You know?
Well, you know, like they say, you know how, like, they say Americans aren't well-traveled?
They say that.
You know?
And then they come to America and they see why.
Yeah.
Because America's fucking massive.
Yeah, America's
and we have everything.
Huge.
Yeah.
And, like, each state that you go to...
America, bitch!
Everything's fucking different. Yeah. Right? But, like, it's just the fact that you could be in, like, fucking England, right? Or whatever. And then, like, go, like, 30, 40 minutes down and you're fucking, like, in France or whatever.
And go,
make your way to Germany, make your way to fucking whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
In just a few hours.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But then for us, it's like...
No, it takes, like, a long time.
We got to take a plane to get over there.
Right.
But when you go through our states, it's like, oh, this is how they travel. This is the well-traveled that you get.
Like, for example, our beautiful state, you know, we have massive cities, right? Mm-hmm. Then we have massive woods and forests. Beautiful, right? Yeah. Now we have a fucking, like, ocean of a lake on one side, not to mention 5 of them. Yeah. But, like, Lake Michigan specifically, right? Or Lake Superior.
And I've swam through a lot of them.
Ocean, yeah. It's like blue and massive and like,
Yeah, and it's just like...
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people
one
from like different countries are just like... yeah, Americans don't know nothing around the world because they're not well traveled. But then it's like,
then you come to us.
but then they come to us and they're like, holy shit, man, you literally get everything everywhere when you come.
And the United States is massive.
Yeah.
Massive, yeah.
So
I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah. I will say the same thing.
Yeah.
Because whenever I was in Cuba, when I was younger, that was like when revolution was like really big.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
Communism was like crazier back then. They used to like outright disrespect Americans and like be rude to them. Not everybody. Most of the time in Cuba, everybody's polite and very nice. But like you would get that one guy who's like, fuck you, American. How dare you fucking come to my country?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And like that shit would happen all the time. And in my head, like that's how I started getting like that sense of like when I'm in the US, I'm like, oh, I'm Cuban, you know, whatever. But I'm not really Cuban. I'm fucking American. Dude.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
Because when I leave the US, they don't see me as, oh, this guy's Cuban. They see me as just an American.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because while I was in Cuba, I kind of look like them. I kind of look how other Cubans look. Because when I'm with my family, I look just like them.
Right.
Right? But other people will literally just take one look at me and be like, this guy doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Like there's no skip a beat. There's no, they just know like, oh, this guy isn't here. And then I finally talk or I finally say something. And then they're like, I would hear them like I used to hang out with like a bunch of like kids that would like go to like the big park and just hang out and play games and shit.
Yeah.
And there's always those like group of like 3 or 4 kids who are like, why the fuck are you an American, man? Like, you're a cool person, but like, we don't like you because you're American. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, fuck you.
What
kid.
did I ever do to you? And then like, you know, young kid brawl. You know,
they're just taught.
That's just how it was back then.
That's how they're raised.
When I got older, a lot of those guys who like would say that shit to me and be like, I don't know why I would say that as a kid. Like,
what's the most like? I have a story for this. Let me ask you before I start. Did I tell the story about how, like on the podcast, about how I was in Scotland and I got basically segregated because of my race in a restaurant? Did I tell that story?
I know you've told me that story, I believe, but it was never on the podcast.
Okay, great. We'll get into that. I'll ask you first, though. What was the most, like, racist, like, sort of vibe or encounter you've had while in a different country?
So, I'll say this.
Yeah.
Are we talking, like, rude racist, or are we talking about, like, naive racist? Like where they're still nice to me, but they're not like they're just saying
I'll say
racist
either one.
shit.
Yeah, either one.
So like the only country I've been to is Cuba.
Oh, so it's just U.S. and Cuba?
Yeah. So like, but that I remember one time.
Americans are not well traveled.
Well, no, like I've only ever been like outside of the country to Cuba because it's just like
you've been to Canada.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't really consider Canada.
Canada's Michigan. Yeah.
Like,
Canada's part of the UP, bro.
But yes, I've been to Canada. I've been all over Canada, too.
Yeah.
Didn't really think about that, but yeah. I've had opportunities to go to other places. Right. I just never did.
Yeah.
But in Cuba is probably, like, the most, like, real, like, hardcore racism that I would get. But it's not because of my race, it's just because I was American.
Okay, gotcha.
Right?
Yeah. What'd you call that? So it's not really racism, it's like
just some fireworks.
Oh, what? No.
That wasn't fireworks.
That wasn't fireworks. That's how fast I would pull the trigger.
Yeah.
For the podcast. We're in the middle of our conversation and I think I just heard somebody empty a clip because it sounded like 12 rounds, didn't it?
Yeah. And it sounded like it came from, like, that way.
At least 10 blocks, so that was far.
That was, like, a distance.
That was a far 9mm. And now I'm hearing cars, so maybe it's a drive-by.
Hopefully.
Come to Michigan. Pure Michigan.
Southwest.
Wait, Southwest? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Southwest
Detroit. Yeah, I thought you were saying, like... Because we're in Southeast Michigan.
Yeah.
On the map.
Technically,
yeah. Yeah, but Southwest Detroit, you're right.
Southwest Detroit, yeah.
But fuck, what was I saying? West Side bitch.
The most like racist ish encounter you've had in a different country.
One of the spots that we went to was like this country like bumpkin. Like, I don't know how to say it right.
Yeah.
But like countryside where like obviously the people here barely learned how to read.
Yeah.
Like my reading was better.
Wow. Did you hear that, guys?
Right. But
spell rebellion. Yeah.
But nonetheless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I never said my spelling was good.
Hey.
But so what ends up happening is we go there with our whole family. So like we're a big group. Mm-hmm. And we start swimming, hanging out, and doing whatever we're doing at this creek.
Yeah.
This local creek.
Nice.
And it was a nice place. It had like a nice waterfall area. There was like rushing water. It wasn't like pull you to death water.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you could just swim in it and just like sit in place and hold yourself.
More like a lazy river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was like a little waterfall and all that. And when I say little, like literally like my height kind of waterfall. So like if you went down it, you'd fall.
Yeah.
But I remember a lot of the locals after like a certain period of time, they just started showing up. Right?
Okay.
And they hated us.
Yeah.
Like it was, I never spoke a single word to any of them, right? When it was like a weird thing that I would do when I was in Cuba, that I wouldn't talk to any of the locals. I would be quiet and I would just listen to what they would say, right? And I remember them saying these, like they were talking about like these people are weird, like who are these people? And like my family was talking to them like normal, like, oh yeah, this is our family. They're our relatives that came to visit us, blah, blah, blah. And like the whole time it was just like the kids were talking and they were like, oh, our dad wouldn't like that you guys are here and stuff. And like they were saying shit like that, right? And they were like, well, don't worry about it because we're just here to have fun, play, hang out, and then we're leaving for the day.
Yeah.
And like more and more people came to the point where they were like, you all just need to leave.
Damn.
And like they literally just said, get the fuck out of here. Even though this wasn't their land or property, right. They were just like, we don't like your kind. You just have to go.
Wow.
And I remember my mom literally like paused, because my mom didn't take shit from nobody.
Yeah, yeah.
She was like, you listen here. I'm American. And she said it in Spanish. She was like, I'm American. I respect your culture. And like it went through my head though when she was saying all of this. Yeah. She was like, I'm American. I respect your culture. You need to respect me and myself. Just because she pretty much made it sound like she was born in America.
Yeah.
Even though she was never.
Yeah.
Right. She like renounced Cuba, right? And she was just like, all this stuff. She's like, just because we come from different parts doesn't mean we're not the same people, blah, blah, blah. And like, she said this whole...
Look at her main character
This whole main character speech and shit.
Right.
And then they were just like, cool story, machetes.
Jesus.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, like really bad. Like if we had stayed, we might have been chopped up.
Chill out.
Fucking killed.
Yeah.
And I just remember like never saying a single word to those people and being like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
like,
what's your problem? Yeah.
Like our family was there for like 4 hours, nothing going on.
Right.
Having fun, relaxing, and then like kids showed up. I guess school got out or whatever. Yeah. Kids started showing up. And then right after that, kid left, told parents, told other people, and they just showed up and they're like, Americans are here. Fuck them. Right? That was like when like communism was like super rough and like you'd turn on the TV and there was just support your country, fuck Americans, blah, blah, blah. They had a lot of shit like that on TV. So like that was probably like the worst one. Like worst. We're like,
I gotcha.
We probably would have been fucking killed if we stayed any longer.
Well, damn, my story isn't that cool.
Yeah.
Mine was more just like negligence.
Yeah. And then one of my like favorite like racist moments happened here in the US. I worked, what was it on the thing?
No, what if it vibrates?
Oh, that's fair. I worked for a construction company with my brother-in-law and my uncle. Or, well, no, he's my cousin. Kind of.
It's the same thing.
He's an older guy, so I think of him as an uncle, but he's a cousin.
Okay.
Like, he's literally in his 40s.
Gotcha.
You know? He's double my age.
Yeah.
But we were working that day together on this scene, and I remember listening to my boss talk about how he only hires Hispanics. He doesn't like hiring black people. He doesn't like hiring white people. And the lady who he was talking to, the lady was like, well, why don't you hire black people? And then he was like, he literally said, he's like, it's not really that I don't hire them, is that I just don't get a lot of them because I hire too many Mexicans and they don't really get along sometimes. Like they won't communicate well to each other. And then like he explained, he's like, because all my Hispanics don't usually speak English. Right. Okay. And then whenever I hire black people that work with them, it's like language barrier and they get stuck and I yell at everybody and then they get mad, whatever. So he tries to only hire black people with black people, Mexicans with Mexicans and stuff. Right. But he doesn't hire white people. Every time he's ever hired a white person, even if they're like good at their job, he's caught them just being lazy. He's caught them not doing shit. And he was explaining that to the lady. He's like, every single white guy I've ever hired will literally find a way to take advantage of anyone who doesn't speak English.
Damn.
And I'm like, damn, like, is that really how it goes? And in my head, I'm listening to this whole thing.
Right.
And I'm doing my thing. And then the white lady, listening to all this story, she's getting the wrong impression about us.
Gotcha.
Right? And she's just like, wow, these are like fascinating. And like, she didn't use the word creatures, but you could feel that she was trying to say creatures, you know? She was like, that's a really interesting race then. And like, she's like looking at us.
Wow.
Like, right? And we're doing our stuff. We don't talk at all. Like while the boss is there doing his thing, we're quiet, shoveling, doing what we got to do because we're doing landscaping, right? Well, he ended up leaving because he's like, I got to go to the next job, get to the next spot.
Yeah.
Once these guys finish up, they'll just clean up, leave. And so he left. The lady just watched us like fucking animals the whole time working, right? And she approaches me and she's like, she pulls out her phone and she's obviously on like Google Translate or something, right? And she's like, hola, amigo.
That's pretty good.
But she's saying it in like a broken way. I can't do the broken.
Yeah.
And she's like, hola, amigo, tu quiero agua.
Like, do you want water?
With amigos. Right?
Yeah.
And she's like, because I guess she got fresh, cold bottled waters.
Right.
And then I looked at her and I was just like, and I nodded my head. And I was like, all right. And she's like, what about amigos? Amigos, agua too? And then I looked at them and I was like, hey guys, you guys want water?
You guys want water?
And they both stopped what they were doing, looked at me, and in perfect English, they're like, yes, we'd love some water.
That's so fucking funny.
And this fucking lady was like, oh my God, you guys speak English?
Jesus.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm American. I've been speaking English my whole life.
That's so awesome.
And she was just like, wow. And like, I said that, right? And she was like, was it hard to learn the English language? Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. Was it hard for you? Like, I picked it up since I was a baby.
Yeah.
And she was just like, she was like giggling about it, right?
Right.
But she couldn't fathom that we spoke English.
That's so funny.
And she was just like, okay, well, I'm glad to hear that you guys are able to speak our language. Like, and it's just the way that she kept saying everything. Right?
Yeah, she kept like...
And I'm just like, yeah.
She kept being so surprised.
I'm glad too, I guess.
She's like, man, these fucking
But
beers.
that's like the funniest because like she was so shocked. And then you could tell that she was embarrassed.
Yeah.
But she couldn't get herself out of that mindset that we weren't supposed to be speaking English.
Right. That's
because of the way that my boss made us sound.
Yeah, he set it up like you guys didn't understand English, basically. Right. Yeah. And you couldn't communicate with the other races, apparently.
Right. And like the whole time we didn't talk to her, right? Like we just minded our business. And my uncle, his default is Spanish.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law, his default is Spanish. So when I talk to them, my default is Spanish at that moment, right? So I spoke Spanish to them and all that. But when she finally approached and talked, that's when I was like, oh, I should speak English here. You know?
Yeah.
And she was just like, she was so surprised. She was like, wow, you can hardly hear your accent. I was like, bitch, what accent?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like, and then, like, keep in mind, I know I do have an accent, right? But
like a Michigan accent.
I have a Michigan accent. I've learned that because whenever I've gone to like other states and I met people in Cuba who are also like Americans and stuff, and they're like, "Where are you from? Your accent's so interesting."
Yeah,
and I'm like, accent?
Isn't it weird? I know.
What are you talking about?
I never notice how nasally I sound.
Yeah,
until I go.
I'm not filthy. I speak English good.
Right. And
then you know. It's like I'm not like one of those Texans that could be like saying some words and then be like yeah. Go Red Hawks, whatever bullshit, right?
Wow, I don't know what kind of Texans you've been talking to.
I don't know, man. I don't speak their language well. Courtney's always
you don't got that Southern drawl,
dude. Southern talk fucks me up so bad. Why? Because
why do you take offense to the way that we carry our conversations?
Do you hear your voice?
Yes.
You sound clear as day. A real Southerner? Nah, bitch. You ain't understanding what they just said.
You mean like deep Louisiana?
Yeah, like they...
What's that called? Like the moonshiners? Like the way they talk?
Like they're gonna get
like Bayou talk.
Yeah, like they'll talk in like...
They haven't talked a lot like that.
Yeah,
okay,
like that.
Now I get what you're saying.
But then they're also saying like... What's the word I'm thinking of? Where you say a sentence that is known between your style... But then it's not known between other people, right?
Like a slang or what?
Yeah, like in Southwest Detroit, like whenever we're talking with people.
What up, though?
Yeah, like, what up, though, man? Like, how you doing?
Right,
blah, blah, blah.
Right.
What's poppin'? Stuff like that, right?
I gotcha.
But then they say something like, something weird that you don't, I don't know any of their phrases.
How are you hanging? Like, that's California. Like, how you hanging?
Oh, well, I fuck with that, too. Like, I say that to people.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying.
Right.
Like the common terms.
Just everybody's is different, right?
Right.
So when they say their version of their slang and they hit you with it and you're like, the fuck did he just say?
Yeah, like what the fuck are you saying?
He just said something about pigs on
right.
a blanket and a farm? Like, what do you mean? Are we talking about food? No, not food?
No, I asked how your health was.
Yeah, just like a different analogy. Right. Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Right?
I get what you're saying.
So like that always fucks me up. Because like, you know, like whenever you watch those videos where like it's like girls or guys, they're going to college and like it's always in like Texas or in the southern areas. And like,
I fucking hate those.
Those videos? That's what I'm talking about.
My name's Anne Frank. I'm going to
Yeah. I'm going to be going.
Go Rams.
Yeah, go Rams. Yeah.
And they're like super southern, so you don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
That's like those kind of conversations. That shit happens in Cuba for me. Like when people are like when they're speaking Spanish so good, I don't know what they say.
Gotcha.
Because I understand Spanish.
Right.
But when you talk to me and your accent is that strong, I don't know what you just said.
Like, what the fuck are you saying? Yeah.
And I'll literally admit to them, I'll be like, listen, no idea what you said.
Yeah. And
then they'll say it again, like I know what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, whatever, man. We're not going to be able to talk to each other, but I'll still enjoy your company. And I want you to know, this is like one of my cousins in Cuba who I've done this to.
Hey, fuck it.
Like, and I've spent like 4 days with them where they continuously talk to me.
Yeah.
And some words I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then they say some other shit and I'm like,
I don't know what you're
dude,
saying.
what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the sort of thing. Go ahead and tell your racist story. You little chink.
Yeah, pretty much. So like I was in Scotland, right?
Scotland.
Yeah. And we were looking for lunch, right? We were looking for a place to eat and everything was kind of like, you know, the hours are different for food in different countries. Like some people don't eat lunch until like 2 p.m. Or actually I should say like 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. is lunch. You know what I mean? And breakfast was like 6 or some crazy shit like that, right?
Okay.
So we're looking for a place for lunch and our places are either closed.
What about second breakfast?
So places are either closed
I know
and
you
like
like
shut
that.
up, Mary. So like or they were like packed or something. I forgot what it was. I think they were mostly closed though, right? Yeah. So we were looking for a place to eat and we couldn't find something for the life of us. Okay, now I remember. It was early, so places weren't open yet. So we're looking for a place to eat, and we were somewhere. I think were we in Ireland or we were in Edinburgh? Okay, we were in Edinburgh. So we were in Scotland, and we were. We found this Italian restaurant. It was like the only place that was opening in like 5 minutes. We were like, oh, awesome, a restaurant, right? Yeah. So they opened the doors and
is that the one?
Walked in.
Okay, no, I'm gonna let you continue.
I did tell you the story.
Okay.
So we walked in, and they greeted us. And they were actually like Italian or like French speaking people. Okay. Actually, I think it was a French restaurant.
And I bet you put on an accent.
No, I didn't. Not for this one. So, okay. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, now I think it was French. Because I think they had French accents. But it was authentic people that were working there, right? Like, they owned the place. And so they were talking to us, and they were like, do you have a reservation? And we were like, no, we don't. We're just looking to grab a bite to eat. And they were like, okay, no problem. We have room. You come. And so we were coming inside, and that's what she said. Delicious. And inside it was very tight. It was a restaurant that was built into like the side of a building that's shared with a bunch of other stuff, the usual. And there was like 2 tables outside that sat 2 people each for a patio, and then inside there was like 4 or 5 larger tables all packed together in a tight area. Like, this is a very tight, like when I say tight, it was the whole restaurant dining area was, I swear to God, the size of your office.
Oh.
Yeah, like it was tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're walking down the middle of the empty tables and stuff, right? And we're going towards the staircase. It was small. Everything is smaller sized in the UK, Yep. It was a small, narrow staircase going down. And, we were like, what the fuck? But we followed the waitress, whatever, right? So we're going down this, like all the way down to like a wine cellar, and I wasn't really thrown off guard because there was like paint, like pictures hanging up and stuff. Like it looked like it was still part of the restaurant, right?
Supposed to be a part of the restaurant,
right? So we go down into the cellar, right? And we go down into like this area. It looks like a nuclear bunker, but it's decorated to be a restaurant. And there's like more tables. There's like 8 or 9 tables down here, and they're furnished, and like it looks like a part of the restaurant, but it's like in a nuclear cellar, right? Nuclear bunker. So we're like, all right, fuck it. So we sit down. We're the only people there, right? For now, and we hear more people like coming upstairs. We hear the kitchen upstairs, whatever. So we're talking. Yeah. They give us bread. First of all, the food was amazing. So this is why I think it's French, because the French have really good food. Like the bread was amazing. The choices for food were amazing. The soup was amazing. Even the fucking water was amazing, right?
I wouldn't know.
Right. So, bitch, and as
I love answering like that.
I know. I ask you blank questions, but you answer them. Yeah. So, we start to realize the longer we're down there, more people that keep joining us walking down the stairs, they're all Asian. Every single one of them is Asian. And this is every like 15 minutes, a new couple or a new like group is walking down, right? So most of them seem to be tourists like us, but they're all Asian, and they keep getting sat down.
And you were there with your girl, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So we're, and I mean, I guess she looks a little Asian, depending on how she looks. Like she was dressed a little more.
I would have never seen the Asian in her, I'm just saying.
Okay, so I guess she doesn't, but like sometimes. So anyways.
Whatever you say.
I'm looking around and I see another girl that's sitting like 3 tables over looking around as well. And we're looking and I'm like I'm making small talk to my person, and I'm like, hey,
Meg.
Meg is good. I'm talking to Meg and I'm like, hey, why are all the Asians down here? And I'm just like making small talk about it. And as I keep talking, they're seating.
And then you see the gas comes out.
No, for real. I made a joke. I was like, are we about to get gas right now? I was making like her laugh, right? And I was making these jokes. And so more Asians came and kept sitting at the tables, and it was almost full. There was like one table right next to us that wasn't being used. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But the food was so good. Everything was good. I'm like, it must be fine. They're probably not that racist, right? And so as I'm talking to her about it, the girl that's over there is another Asian American. She's like, why the fuck are all the chinks down here in the basement? Like, she just openly says it. And I immediately, without missing a beat, I go, I know, they're going to gas us or something. and like half the restaurant starts laughing, right? We're all like, And then, like, the laughter dies down because no waiters have come for, like, 10 minutes. Yeah. And we're all kind of just, like, making small talk and looking. I can tell. We're all, like, looking around, like, what the fuck? And finally, two of the waitresses come down with some food and stuff. And behind them is a white couple that's coming down. They pause. They look around.
And they leave.
And no. Dude, that would be so funny. No, they came and sat next to us.
Okay.
And started eating. And so everybody kind of relaxed, right? So then we all go back to normal. We finish our food. I'll tell you, it was amazing food. Beautiful.
Okay.
And so, like, I got, like, a fucking pheasant soup with, like, a whole roasted pheasant in it. And, like, it came in a cast iron skillet to eat out of. It was awesome. Okay. So anyways, not expensive either. It was
That's cool.
That was, like, $13 US dollars. Yeah, it was awesome.
I have a restaurant story.
So then we go up. Okay, great. So then we go up the stairs to exit. And as we're leaving, I look at all the tables, right? All of them are full to the brim, right? Even the ones outside, all white people. Oh. Yeah, all Scottish and, like, French-speaking people.
They're people.
Yeah, are all up there. And as we're leaving, no one says bye. No one says thank you. Not a fuck you. Have a great day. Nothing. We're just out the door.
Just let the chinks go out.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, we were for sure put down there on purpose. And they ran out of room for those last two.
Yeah,
that was just the vibe
for the last two white people.
That was just the vibe.
That's fucking hilarious.
That one tourist though really like helped it out though. That was so funny. She's like, "Why are all the chinks down here?" And I was like, "We're getting gassed." It was awesome. What was your restaurant story?
So when I was in Cuba, me and my mom were walking around one of the towns, right? Yeah. And we finally, like, after walking around for a few hours, we got hungry and we're like, let's just go to this place over here. We've never been here before, right? We heard that it's a pizza place. And pizza in Cuba is disgusting.
Okay.
To me.
Why is it disgusting?
Because of how, I don't know, they just use...
Or... is it like the cake thing? Where it's their like ingredients and stuff are just weird, and the way they mix things together is gross.
So they have, like, in Cuba they make different types of cheese.
Yeah.
And there's this one cheese that Cubans really fucking like.
Yeah.
But it is so fucking disgusting. And I love cheese.
Yeah.
And I've had, like, some of the most nastiest cheeses out there that I think, oh, on crackers, this sounds great. This is delicious.
But not this shit.
This, they put it on a fucking pizza, and it tasted like I was eating rotten milk on a pizza.
Oh.
You know?
That would kill it for me.
And, like... And in Cuba, though, like, this cheese is like a special cheese, and everybody fucking loves it. Yeah. And I'm like, bitch, this is just straight fucking vomit in my mouth.
It's
like,
disgusting.
What is this?
Right.
And whatever. Right? But that's not the issue. Yeah. Right? We go there, we heard they do pizza, and some of their fucking pizza was fucking so good.
Yeah.
But... because they literally sprinkle that special cheese on everything, it tastes nasty.
That's horrible.
At least to me.
Yeah.
But so what ends up happening is we go into this place. It looks like a normal, like... Sorry, I had to burp there. So in Cuba, whenever you go to a restaurant, they always try to make the restaurant look fancy, right?
Yeah.
But this was a place that wanted to look fancy. Like, their front room, super elegant, super nice, but the moment you went inside to where, like, the tables were and stuff, it looked like a normal, like, place where they put cloths on the fucking tables, and it was just normal chairs all over the place. And I'm like, okay, cool. We came in, there was nobody at the front thing, so we didn't wait, right? So we just went right past, sat down in a chair. Right. We're fucking American.
Yeah.
Fuck the rules.
Fuck it.
And... one of the waitresses walked up to my table with me and my mom. Yeah. And they were like, "Sir, you're wearing shorts." And I'm like,
"Get the fuck out."
Yeah. They were like, "I want you to know, this is a restaurant where this is fine dining.
Yeah.
And you have to dress appropriate." And then I was like, "What about my mom's outfit?" And they were like, "Her outfit's perfect. She literally just wearing a normal shirt with pants.
Perfect."
I wore shorts and I had a normal shirt. I'm like, so if I just wore jeans, it would have been fine. And they were like, yes, you would have been perfect if you wore jeans.
Right.
I was like, how is that fine dining?
Yeah.
Like, that's what went through my head.
Right.
Right. And they were like, but just so that you know, because you're already sat down and you're here, we're going to allow you to eat here.
Thanks.
We're not going to throw you out.
appreciate it.
And I'm just like, even if you did throw me, I would have never given a fuck.
Yeah.
Right? And so then I'm like, okay, cool. What are the prices here, just so that we know like what kind of money? Because there's two different monies that you use in Cuba. There's like cartoon money.
Okay.
And then there's like American money.
Okay.
And I know that kind of sounds weird, but
it does sound weird.
What I mean by that is like pesos and shit.
Yeah.
So like Cuba has their version of pesos, and they're like literally like fucking monopoly money.
Yeah.
Like one of them will be green, one's red, one's fucking blue. Mm. Like they're just a bunch of different fucking colors, and majority of them, they're all worthless.
Yeah.
Like you need like 1,000 plus of them for them to be worth something.
Gotcha.
You know? But then there's the American money where it's just, you got $5, that's $5. You got $10, that's $10.
Gotcha.
You got $20, that's $20.
Yeah.
Right?
It's probably not good for their economy.
It's weird, you know? Because like all the workers get paid in that cartoon money.
Gotcha.
While, you know, everybody wants the American money.
Right.
You know? But so what ends up happening is they told us it was cartoon money. And my mom was like, oh, cool. I have some cartoon money on me. And then she asked if we needed to use American money, can we use it here? And they were like, yeah, this is one of the only places where you can use American money. Mm-hmm. And we were like, awesome, cool. So we fucking just like sat there. We ordered literally every pizza on the menu.
Nice.
And almost every pizza had that nasty
fucking cheese, didn't it? Oh.
Yeah. It's like their signature cheese that they're so fucking proud of that other places can't get this cheese. We get it. So they use it on almost every fucking pizza.
It's horrible.
And I was there, literally, sliced the pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, this is disgusting. And I was like...
You just so straight up told them?
Yeah, because I wasn't that young. I was old enough to know that you shouldn't insult the chef like that.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
But...
Especially in machete-wielding Cuba, huh?
Yeah. Well, this was in the town. That was in, like, the fucking boonies and the woods.
Gotcha.
You know?
Even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in this, there's literally a police officer on every fucking block.
Right on.
You know?
Yeah.
And, like, I mean every block.
Yeah.
Like, they hire so much people for, like, police work. In Cuba, which is really nice because like nobody really gets fucked with because there's always a cop like nearby.
Yeah.
Like someone screams
and they'll beat the shit out of you.
Oh, they'll beat the shit out of whoever's in the way. Yep. But so what ended up happening was I was just in there and I'm like eating it. We tried 1, we tried 2, we tried 3, we tried 4. We're like, man, this is fucking ass. Fuck this place. Why are they trying to make it sound like this is the nicest place in the world when the place next door does like fucking a 6-star steak, you know? And like you pay fucking just barely anything and you can get an amazing steak from there, right? You know? And they don't care. You could come in butt naked and they'd be like, here you go.
Yeah. So you were first insulted.
Right.
And now
I'm eating their food and I'm like, dog, this place sucks ass.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whatever, I'm here with my mom. We enjoyed it. For a certain degree, like there was some shit that was great, right? So we ate what was good, and then the stuff that was bad, we took it home to our family. They liked it, obviously. We didn't.
Yeah.
We left there that day, and then me and my sister and like her group of friends with some of my friends went out on the town, and I brought one of my friends, and I don't know how to use money in Cuba during that time because I didn't understand the value of cartoon money. And I didn't fully understand the value of American money because American money, literally the cartoon money, you could have like thousands of cartoon monies and like pay a shit ton for something, but then I could give $1 and then I could buy the same item for $1. You know, I didn't understand the difference. So I literally went with all of them, had my money in my wallet, and I was just like confused. My family and friends were talking about this amazing fucking pizza place.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, cool. I wonder if it's going to be better than the one that we went to. And like, we started.
You didn't learn from this point? Just don't eat any of the fucking pizza.
Well, I was wearing shorts that day too.
All right.
Right. So we get there, right? And there's someone standing outside, and like my friends and my sister go over there and they're like, oh, can we come here to eat? And they see our group and they point at me and they're like, that guy's not allowed in here.
Damn.
And then like me in the background, I was just like, good, because I didn't want to come to this shitty ass place anyway. Like, I said that shit fast as fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, and I told my sister, I was like, you have no idea how disgusting this fucking food is here.
Oh, right on.
And she was just like, really? No, they're saying this is one of the best places. And I'm like, I told her, I was like, you can fucking eat here.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking doing it. I'm going somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I don't care. So my boy who's with me, I'm like, listen, usually I give my sister my money and then we buy stuff. I don't know how to do this. So you're going to be my calculator.
Yeah.
And he's just like, all right, fuck it. I literally pulled my wallet out, handed it to him.
Yeah.
This is childhood friend, I trust him.
Right.
Other people, they would be like, couple thousand? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Him, he just saw it. He's like, whatever, let's go. We go to this fucking, it was like the one fried food place, right? And every single fucking thing on their menu, they had like 20 plus things on their menu. And I went in there with my friend. I was like, how hungry are you? Because they're going to go over there and have a fun time eating all that fucking pizza.
Right.
But me and you are going to eat like kings. Yeah. Because you're here with me.
Yeah.
And I told him money's no limit at this moment because I had a lot of money on me.
Right.
We fucking literally ordered every single thing off the menu. Like, we got a fucking bowl of spaghetti. We got a fucking fish that I didn't eat, but he ate. We got a whole ass fucking chicken, a whole ass duck. And like, it was like fried stuff. Some of it was just cooked. Like, they were just doing it all, right? We had this huge ass table. It looked like a king seat with me and him just eating like crazy, right? Yeah. My family ate at that place, and my sister was like, this food is fucking disgusting. We need to leave. Yeah. Right? My sister got pissed and was like, this place sucks. They go walking, and they like walk a couple streets down because I was only a few blocks away. They see us in there. They look at our table, and they all walk in, and they're just watching us, and we're just eating. Right. And like, we're dining like fucking kings. And my sister's like, what's all of this? And I was like, this is the food we ordered, and it's all fucking good. Yeah. Like, I thought the spaghetti was going to be mediocre because most spaghetti places suck ass. Like, spaghetti's not that good of a meal. I love spaghetti.
You take that back.
No. Let me correct it. I love spaghetti. Right. But spaghetti isn't like the best meal in the world. Like, it's just one of those.
We just lost our entire Italian fan base.
No. So I want this to be known. Some people just throw a fucking can of sauce and be like, oh, it's perfect. And then they fucking eat it. Nah. I find that fucking disgusting.
They don't salt the water.
I need pepper. Right. I need fucking seasoning. I need garlic. I need authentic. I need everything. I need that sauce to stick to the fucking noodles.
I gotcha.
I need it to be fucking good. Yeah. It was fucking good. Nice. Right? The fried chicken was so fucking delicious. And like, we're just sitting there eating, and we weren't even done because they still had an ice cream area where they were like, we'll give you every single scoop just because. Nice. We wasted so much money there that they were like, desserts on the house. And we were like, well, what can we get for the dessert? They were like, everything. Yeah. I was just like, what? So like, they just took a scoop of every ice cream, put it on a platter, put like cookies all over it and shit, and like, we're just awesome. Like, go at it. The place treated us really fucking well. Like, that's what me and my mom should have been treated at that other place. Instead of told, you're not welcomed here because you're wearing shorts. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think those places, especially, and they don't advertise it enough. Right. They basically just tell you at the door. Mm-hmm. Like when I go to Mexico, like I've been to like 2 of those restaurants where they've kicked me out because they're like, either no shorts or like you're not in a dress shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I get what you're saying.
I think that's just ridiculous. Yeah. But that place treated us so well. And you know how much I fucking paid?
How much?
$20.
Wow.
And we had like 7 different meals.
For that whole ordeal?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I paid $20, and like to them, like that was 20 American. Right. Right. So that was technically an expensive like whole setup. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, it was only $20. Right. And like, I thought my friend was lying to me. I'm like, really? Like, what the fuck? We got to tip these people. They didn't want a tip. They were like, no, you don't got to tip us. Thanks, man. You already paid. Apparently the 20 also added in a tip.
That's awesome.
But I didn't understand that,
Right.
so I gave him an extra $5 of American dollars.
Nice.
And I was like, here, man, $5.
You're a favorite.
Split it between fucking the chef and whatever. I don't care. Right? Because they treated us so good with respect.
Yeah.
And then, like, even my family, like, and my sister's friends, they came in and, like, my sister did that annoying thing where, like, we're sitting here eating, you bitches just ate, and they came over and they wwere just, like, picking at our food while we're eating. I'm like,
animals.
Get the fuck out of here.
Scavengers,
You fucking pigeons, go. Seagulls.
Vultures.
Yeah. And, like, they were just, like, picking at our food and shit. And I was like, well, whatever. But me and my boy that day had the time of our life.
Nice, man.
Because we fucking ate there, and then we went to, like, this other place where, like, they had, like, fresh fruit and stuff. And we got, like, fresh fruit for no reason. And, like, we were just eating, like, fresh fucking, like, dragon fruit and, like, fresh apples and, like, papaya and a bunch of stuff. Just as, like, a...
And?
Huh? Well, just like...
And?
What do you mean, and? And what? We didn't have any mangoes.
Ah, mango, bitch. I was waiting for it.
We didn't have any mangoes.
Mango.
But what ended up happening was, like, we just got, like, a bunch of fruit and stuff, and, like, they did, like, a cocktail for us.
Nice.
And we were just sitting there. But that was, like...
Stop making the noises, bro. Every time you describe you eating or drinking, you start doing, like, a noise, like, I need a fucking, like, an audio.
That's what I do.
I got it. I know what it is.
But, yeah, that was, like, my whole thing. Like, I didn't get thrown in the basement.
Or at least change it up. Like, go, you know what I mean? No, don't do that. Just, like... You know?
No.
No?
I don't know. But that's that story.
Okay.
I don't know if you got anything else.
No, I think that should be it for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So...
Only because we're at the 3 hour mark.
Are we?
Yeah.
I can't see the time on there, but... Damn, we've been going for a good amount of time. It's already fucking 10.
Mm-hmm. We started at 7.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Oh, I will mention this. Fuck you. I went and saw Borderlands.
I heard it was really bad.
It was really bad.
Right.
It kind of felt like, because I'm one of those people who have played all of the games.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I beat them all, but I didn't.
Okay.
I beat 1 and 2, and then when I got to 3, I got to, like, maybe halfway and just stopped playing it at one point. So, long story short, the movie seemed like it took parts from all of the games, and they literally just, like, scrapped everything you know about each character.
Yeah.
Right? They kind of, like, made up their own story for characters for no fucking reason. Right? But I did like the psychopaths. Like, it was very hard to fuck them up.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they're
just fucking
fun.
crazy.
Yeah.
They want to have fun. They'll fucking eat your face.
Yeah.
And they'll run at you. Like, that to me was like, fuck yeah, that's all I need. If it was just literally the whole movie of them running around being fucking crazy, I would have been happy. Mm-hmm. You know? Because there was, like, one area where they go into this place where they're like, a bunch of fucking psychos are here. Whatever the right name is.
Right.
I can't remember it. But they're like, we have to be quiet because they're all sleeping right now. Like, they snuck into this place and they get to the area, they find something, and then I don't remember what happens, but someone makes a loud-ass noise. All of them wake up and it's just... and, like, just... knives getting thrown everywhere, fucking them beating the shit out of each other themselves. And then they had a whole thing of, like, a gang of midgets where, like, they were just running around, like, screaming and shit. And, like, it was just really good, that part.
Yeah.
They destroyed the stories for a lot of the characters. There was some characters that just didn't even have an incentive to even do what they did.
Yeah.
So, like, the guy that Kevin Hart played, he literally didn't have a story. Like, it made no sense why he did what he did.
Yeah.
So, and let me explain what he does, because I know you're never going to see the movie. So I'm willing to ruin it for you. See, that's how I spoil things, when I know you're not interested. Kevin Hart's character literally just randomly says, I need to kidnap this child from the company I work for, because they're just going to kill her. right?
Okay.
And I'm like, cool, he's a self-righteous man. He's a good guy, whatever, right? He's saving this little kid. No, he's not saving this kid because he wants to. He's saving the kid because he wants to use her to get into the vault. And so he's hiding her, right? He has his own reason, I guess. But the way that he comes across and tells everybody what his like reasoning is that he's tired of watching these kids get killed. But he's worked for this company for like 10 years. And he's loyally murdered these children.
Right.
Back to back. And it's just one day he just decided this is the one that I'm going to save. I get it. But, you know, at some point you got to understand your job's your job. Just fucking kill the kid.
Do it.
Like, do what you got to fucking do.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole time there, like, it's like he didn't have a good reason to really protect the kid, you know, until like towards the end where he's like, yeah, I guess I'll just open the vault.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, whatever I get from there, I can live my life and escape from this bullshit. Yeah. That's what his idea was. And it didn't feel like it was a strong incentive for him, you know? Plus, he had, like, I guess his lover was still committed to the thing, and she was hunting him. Mm-hmm. And at the very end, it was, like, so anticlimactic that she was like, I finally understand your point of view. And then, like, her boss just, like, blows her brains out. Like, how dare you understand his point of view? Yeah. Like, and then it's like his love gets killed, and he's just like, no, and then he starts killing everybody. Yeah. But I'm like, he was just such a shit character, right, in my head. And then they changed the little girl's story, because the story that they came up with, she was never a special fucking child or anything. Her fucking if I'm remembering her story right, she was just fucking crazy, and like her parents got killed or something, or murdered in front of her. And she got like some sort of bomb fetish, or she killed her parents. I don't remember exactly. But her story was pretty straightforward. She likes bombs. She kills a lot of people with them. And in this story, it makes no sense why she likes bombs, right? Because like when she's at this place, she's still like creating bombs. Like, who the fuck taught her this? She's been in a cage her whole life. Who taught her to make explosives?
Yeah, I'll never see the movie, so. Okay. I have no interest in any of it.
Right. But
I wasn't even really that fan of the games. I was only a fan of the art style.
That's the part that got me.
And right? I enjoyed the shooter style.
The art style was just so unique that it was so catchy.
Yeah. And the music is good.
I will say this. Claptrap was one of my favorite characters. Oh, yeah. And I do believe Jack Black did a great job as Claptrap. I just hated that Claptrap didn't have his original voice.
I agree with you.
Because there are thousands of Claptraps. Yeah. And they all have the same voice. Yeah. And that voice is annoyingly funny. Yeah. And they've never changed it throughout the whole time. And it's not hard to like have that voice. They just used a fucking voice changer. Right. Right. And it's like, whatever, fine. You wanted to use someone famous. You wanted their voice to be heard.
I mean, that's like him in the new Minecraft trailer that just dropped.
Well, the Minecraft thing, I think, is really stupid.
Yeah, it is. It looks dumb. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even watch the trailer. I've just seen, like, clips.
I've only seen, like, clips, because I don't watch full trailers.
No, and it looks dumb.
And when he was like, I'm Minecraft Steve, I'm like, what? Fuck you mean you're Steve? Right. You don't belong in this universe. You clearly don't look like it.
It was so weird. It's just like, why are they doing that? The only fucking video game recreation that's been awesome lately is Sonic.
Dude.
Sonic hasn't missed.
Sonic has done the job that... Well, the thing is, Sonic was going to miss.
But then they listened to the
But they listened to the people. Yeah. And so, like... Sonic was like one of like they set the standard, right? Yeah. They were like, we've listened to the people. They were going to release because there's a version of the movie where Sonic looks like that fucking monster.
Yeah, and it's not even the same story. Right, they changed the story. It was for the fans. Yeah,
full released. It was ready to go. Right, and then they were like, no one's gonna watch it if we fucking pull this out. and they fucking just said, fuck it, we're gonna just scrap this, make the original Sonic look like this, and we're gonna run the story.
Which, by the way, this design is awesome.
Oh, the design was perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah, why didn't they do that in the first place? Yeah.
That's what everybody else was saying. Like, why didn't they do this in the fucking first place? And that was just one of those, like, that's when we as a collective people bullied a company enough to where they said we have to listen to
I wish it happened with Helldivers. It didn't. It's too late.
Dude, yeah.
It's too late.
But fucking, you know what movie I'm looking forward to seeing? It is
No, I don't know.
I'm glad you asked.
It took a minute.
Yeah.
But I got it.
Did you ever see the movie that they Blood and Honey? That's the name of the movie. It's surprising that I remembered it, but it's the one where they made a live action Winnie the Pooh that was a murderer.
I heard about it.
Horrible movie.
Okay.
It was really bad.
Not like Cocaine Bear, one of the best movies ever.
Never saw Cocaine Bear. I didn't have any interest in it.
Oh, it's awesome.
But
it's actually right up your alley.
I heard it got really good reviews.
It's surprisingly awesome.
Okay.
Like, it's super funny and, like, you know, like,
that's good.
It's basically based off a real story.
Well, the real story was completely different.
Yeah, but it's, you know.
The real story, the bear was just on coke and it didn't do anything.
Yeah, but this movie's awesome.
Okay.
Cocaine Bear is actually really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I might look forward to seeing it someday. If I find it.
We should watch it together.
Okay.
It's on something. I watched it on some streaming service.
That's fair.
Like Netflix.
That's fair. But that
remember 30 minutes ago when I was like, we should wrap here?
Yeah, and I said, fuck that. That company that produced Blood and Honey is coming out with a Peter Pan version.
Okay.
But
the movie was bad, you're telling me?
Well, Blood and Honey was bad.
Okay.
But the thing is, they listened to the people after they came out with the movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we need to do a better job because literally there's a scene where, like in Blood and Honey, it's the one scene where I'm like, this movie should have ended right then and there, right? Winnie the Pooh is like walking around the house and all the friends, like I think 2 people had died at this time, right? And there's like 4 or 3 people inside the house that are downstairs hiding for their lives and 1 person hiding upstairs. The person hiding upstairs has a fucking revolver in her hand and she's ready to fucking shoot, right? She sees Winnie the Pooh like at the front door, has the perfect line of sight to kill him, right? And she's just like, no, what is he doing there? Oh, like freaking, like you don't have a fucking gun in your hand ready to fucking blow his brains out.
Right.
You could have ended him then and there, but because she doesn't kill him at that very moment, he goes and kills like 2 of her friends, like right after that.
Yeah.
But it's like, bitch, you could have ended the movie right then.
That was
and
really
there.
dumb. Yeah.
Like, how the fuck can you say like, oh, I'm a strong character, blah, blah, blah. I even brought a gun with me. That'd be like you doing that.
Yeah.
And you realizing, oh, Kyle's about to die if I don't take this shot.
I wouldn't hesitate.
Right. I would have been like,
I'd shoot you too, just for fun.
Dude, even if I missed every shot, you best believe I'm emptying the clip to just try to hit that.
At least I'm trying, yeah.
Right? But she literally watched, freaked out, and then like didn't use her gun at all. You know when she finally used her gun?
When?
She missed, so like she went to go like shoot one of them, right?
Yeah.
Misses her shot, and then they disarm her, and then it's over. The guns never come back.
Nice.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you're the biggest piece of shit ever. Fuck you for owning a gun. Like, I get it. Not everybody has good aim. But that was like point blank range.
Yeah.
Like, you right here, if you tried to shoot me, you're shooting me.
Nah.
You think you'd miss?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
But they're doing a Peter Pan version, and I watched a little bit of the trailer, and it looked really fucking good.
Okay.
Like, I watched a little bit of the trailer for when they did like a Kickstarter for Blood and Honey, because they were like showing what the costumes were going to look like, showing what this was going to be. And I looked at it and I was like, trailer looks okay, but I'm like, I don't know. I would watch it just because it's Winnie the Pooh killing people, and I think that's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Right? They did Piglet dirty. Like, the way they fucking murdered him. Fucking awesome. But the whole time, it was just like, that didn't look that good, right? But then they dropped the new trailer for it, and that trailer looks really fucking good. And it's one of the only movies where I've seen a bit of the trailer. I didn't watch till the very ending, you know? I was just like, oh, so this is supposed to be Peter Pan, a grown-ass man lurking on children? Reminds me of my brother. I like that.
Right. I was thinking about bringing up your brother, but I didn't want to.
That's fair.
With the at the Ren Fair.
At the Ren Fair.
Yeah,
and all
but
the
no,
shit
that's okay.
That's fine.
No, there's no way I could talk about it where it would be misinterpreted or interpreted correctly.
Interpreted correctly?
Yeah.
No, it'll just sound like bad no matter what.
Right, exactly. So I'll just...
That's fair. We can leave that out. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really have too much else to say that, you know, we could save for the next time easily.
Send us out.
All right, guys.
It's been a minute since you've done it, huh?
It's been a minute since I've done this, but
yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed any of this. If you did, leave a like, leave a follow, subscribe, do whatever it is that gets you the ability to continue listening to us. If you ever have the time, hit us up on our email at unapologeticvoices1@gmail.com. As well, I am here myself, Kyle Elio Torres, with my beautiful co-host, Thomas Tripp, and we're calling it for the night. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Peace out.